Our next guest, Marshawn Govan, has been here, coming here maybe for 6, 8, 10 years, and you've had a business. You're maybe insurance and taxes, and you just keep growing and growing, and now you're into some really exciting things. Tell us about that.
Well, what we did is we actually now are a family of companies. When I say a family of companies, family has multiple members, multiple, people that are, in a family. So what our business did is we're so diversified now. We started, to create, more like these syndicate of companies, but each company specialized in a certain different type of, product, that we offer. And so that's what we call ourselves now, the family of companies, or MKG family of companies.
Now, I am a real estate broker, and I've been trying to figure out this one thing for years. But people with IRAs,
yes,
they can put them in real estate.
Correct. Yeah. So that's what we have now. So we're looking for IRA investors, and you're not just going to just give us your money directly. We have a custodian, which everything is done online. It's actually backed by the FDIC. They're A+ better. It's insured, from them doing the people that are going to be handling your money. They're also A-rated with the Better Business Bureau, and it's a 3-step process. They do it online, or they can do it by paper. They're going to set up their account, transfer the money, and then pick their investment, that they want to invest in, whether it be real estate, whether it be an asset back, whether it be something dealing with the gold, if it's something else a little bit more aggressive as far as they want a better return on their investment. And so, people don't actually now have to just, worry about, well, if I'm going to retire, that's not going to be enough.
Great.
There's other strategies and there's other ways for them to actually, maximize, their income.
IRAs usually go in something really safe, like a mutual fund or some really safe utility stock that gives you about this much
Correct.
Return.
The return is so small. I mean, it's probably less than 3%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't guarantee the returns, but the hypothetical return on investments can be anywhere somewhere between 6 to 10 to 12%. On a return
on real estate.
On real estate, and not only that, they get a monthly check every month, a dividend, depending on how long it's going to take for the maturity of it, whether we're buying and selling, we're buying and holding, or, but that's even great because then they also still have their initial investment that they contributed to.
So let's say somebody has $100,000 in an IRA. Do they have to invest that entire $100,000, or can they take a little piece of that and put with you?
They can take a little piece of it. Right now, we have a bonus specials going on right now. Our buy-ins is really, at a good point that, it really makes it easy for a person to, see this opportunity and invest in. It's $1,500 right now for the membership, $2,500 for note holders. But, after we get, over 20 or 30 investors, we're going to have to raise the limits up because,
Sure.
After we get to 100 investors, they're invested into a limited liability company, and we're all going to be, shareholders and members. So they actually have an ownership into a company, as well as, they're going to reap the benefits and rewards of our investments. And our investments, we're going to make sure that the numbers work. Mm-hmm. If they're invested into real estate, they're going to also have their money, insured on the house that, we're going to be
So the house
acquiring.
burns down, they don't lose their investment.
No, because it's insured, and we're first to be, paid off on that because we put mortgage insurance on there as well.
And also there's a deed.
There's a deed, deed insurance, mortgage insurance. You're a real estate agent, so you kind of know that it makes sense. I mean, but the average person, if they say, well, I want to go out and I want to go and buy real estate, I want to go invest, individually on your own, it's a little bit more to just take your whole life savings and but it's easier if it's like powers in number. If you divide the numbers up, then you do 100 times 5,000. We have a lot more money to pool our investments together, and that's what we have is an investment pool. And we've already filed our documents with the SEC, which is the Security Exchange Commission, letting them know that we're going to be doing these, private offerings and exempt offerings. And so our members can go online and look that up. Our members can go online and look and see our articles of incorporation. They can go online, they can look and see what we're offering. And we also have a finance part of our business too, which is our other family of companies, which is MKG Enterprises, where we lend that money. So if they're looking to, maybe, lend that money out and get a better return on their investments, that interest rate isn't going to be that 1%, 2% like a CD. Our highest investment return on some of our pool assets is 96%.
Wow.
That's annually.
Yeah.
Which is 8% a month.
Right. Almost doubling your money.
Exactly.
Yeah. Real estate's one of your best chances, I think, to double your money.
Well, yeah, real estate right now, especially with the market shifting and, the real estate reset itself, from the, market crash. And so now it's gradually picking up. But what we do is we look at distressed properties and, people that are, might not, want to deal with their property anymore. There might have been an inheritance. It might be something that maybe they went through medical, reason where they can't afford to pay it. They just want it off their hands.
Right.
We'll go gladly step in, but we're going to make sure that we're going to buy. We don't buy at retail value. We're going to buy, at a good price where everyone wins. Because we have to pay for all the other transactions that's involved with it. But we have a very good diversification. If they go on our website, they can pick out what they want to diversify their income in. There's even a brochure. It lets them know exactly what they can pick. Their strategies. And this is something that is not going to stay at the bonus buy-in for long.
Now let me ask you this, because I've heard these people have these things. Hey, let's all pitch in some money and we'll buy a house and so. What should people look for before they get into something like this?
Well, before they look for anything, they have to have the knowledge. They got to have, some kind of experience on it. We have a construction, department as well that does we have a general contractor, that's licensed and everything so that, you don't have to worry about issues of where I'm going to find my contractor at, where I'm going to find my crew at. If they're
going to be sort of buying shares or something, don't you have to go through the SEC and be qualified?
Well, it depends if they're a broker-dealer. If you're selling things dealing with the NASDAQ, the market, the Dow Jones, those are securities where you do have to be registered because those are regulated markets and industries. But what we're doing is we're doing exempt private offerings. And so they'll get a prospectus, which would kind of show them examples of what their investment is, their hypothetical returns on their investment, and what they're putting their money into, which is a vehicle. It's called vehicles. It's like a car. You get in one car, you go from point A to point B. Their money and also, their IRA is considered an asset or a class of asset, and it's a vehicle that they can use. And they don't have to just leave it in, the fund that it is in now, because once they are, given the knowledge and the education, and now they're saying, okay, well, let me, turn that, into something, a bigger return or bigger gain. And what's even more better is because it's a tax shelter now. Remember, if you're working and you're kind of setting money to the side into a 401k, 30 years from now, you're going to pay tax on that money that's going to be pulled out because it's pre-tax going in. Right. But guess what? If you actually started looking at an IRA and investing that into alternative, investments, that money is now going to become tax-free. Can you imagine looking at the gains anywhere from 6% to 12%, hypothetically, and then if you get a gain on that, that's not taxable money.
Not taxable.
But if you're leaving it in a conservative, but this is not for the conservative, minded or conservative thinking people. It's for people that are looking at the future and the long-term part of it, whether it's going to be a 6 month, a 3 month, because some of our investments takes about 3 months to mature. Some of them take 6 months, some of them takes a year. We have many different, portfolios, and even now we're going to even bring it on a crowdfunding portal, where now we're going to be able to, help businesses out. Also they're going to be looking at these different assets of real estate, and so if you have a deal, you have a property, that might be something that we can invest in as from our finance, from our syndicate, bring it to us, because we do pay finder fees.
Wow.
Yeah.
So somebody can get in, say, I just want to try it out, $1,500, $2,500, $5,000, just put it in a little.
Yeah, but then depending on if they're an accredited investor, non-accredited investor, we want to make sure, we do our due diligence, because there's some things that we cannot accept, from certain individuals. We want to make sure that they meet all the requirements, and we know we're, following the regulations. If they want to go on our website, they can download a prospectus.
I was going to say, where should someone start if they want to find you or learn more about this? They got a 401k or something like that, and they say they want to maybe pick a different way it's invested.
Yeah.
Do you have the website, or where should they start?
Well, they can go onto our website, and but we want to look at their seeing if they're losing their money. That's the first thing. They want to look at their their end of the year statements, and that's going to show them if they're going to see the negatives on there, then they're losing that money. And most people don't pay attention to that.
The stock market does.
The stock market goes up and down, but when you see things with the parentheses and in brackets, it's going to show us a negative. That's going to show you, wherever you putting your money at, you're losing your money. We're not here to give them investment advice into the security security markets. We're talking about the alternative investments where they can say, okay, it takes their tax advisor can tell them that. Or most likely their brokers. There is a fee that they're just going to charge to handle their money.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're looking at a turnaround. If you're losing your money where you have it at now, why not move it somewhere where you can get a better return on it, and at least own some real estate with that, or own another part of some company stocks. We're also looking at you can own company stocks, especially tech now. You got to look at some of these technology companies that are like blowing up, like Dropbox. We could have bought into Dropbox stocks before they became an IPO.
Yeah.
But you can own some of that, shares. And everybody knows when we missed the big boom buying into Google and Apple before they got so big. Now go try to buy their stocks now.
Can't buy it now. Can't even buy one share.
Yeah. So you want to get in on the ground floor, and that's what we offer now. Everything's now is ground floor before it actually becomes that big bubble. We don't deal with some of the other stuff like the Bitcoins out there. Our investments are actually backed by assets.
Right, real things.
Real things.
So that house isn't going to blow away or burn down and
correct.
be gone, so.
Or corporate bonds. We're looking into doing into more of the gold. The gold and silver. Coins. We want everything we have is backed. We want to make sure it's backed by some kind of collateral.
Right. Now, is this your website, Community Reinvestment?
ReinvestmentEquityFunder.us/IRA investors. It's a little long, for them to remember. If that's a little bit too much for individuals, then they can just go to MKGFinancialGroup.com. And it will take them to the main website. They can actually purchase things through PayPal. You know how PayPal works.
Yep.
If they have like a 30-day buyer's, thing regret. But we want to make sure if they're doing their IRAs, then they have to go onto our, to their agent, that does all the transfers.
It's a little more regulated.
It's a little bit more regulated, and they have to go through a custodial account.
MKGFinancialGroup.com. Now your office has moved. I said, are you still over there? You said no.
No, we moved. We moved. We have a better location, more visibility. Being in the tower is a little new to us, but we like being in the tower. I think it's a friendly area. A lot of restaurants, a lot of businesses. I think it has a lot of potential for growth. It's a historic area, and it's things to do in it. So not just they can come out, they can also look at other businesses. They can go have coffee, they can go shop. They can check out some of the neighbors around us. It's an opportunity.
Tower's cool, and you're cool, and your business is cool. So I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna look at my IRA, and I'm gonna talk to you, and I'm gonna see if we can move some over, and because I believe in the real estate, security.
Yeah, real estate is a safe investment, and we know real estate for the last 10 years has outperformed the stock market, at least, by 8%, and so, that's just one aspect of it. We're looking at our other investments too. If our private, money, investment, that's a good return as well. We're looking at, some of those are short term, especially during tax season. We have actually a strategy where, the return is within 30 days.
Okay. Are you still helping people with their taxes?
We're still helping people with their taxes. That hasn't changed. We're still in the tax business. We're still in the insurance business. So we do a lot of things in-house. But I think our biggest groundbreaking that we're going to do is that once we get our crowdfunding, portal off the ground. And that's another thing. They can actually own a piece of the crowdfunding where, if you're a real estate agent, you're getting that 6%, 5% commission. Can you imagine, looking at that it's a $1.4 trillion market. And if you don't get in on it now, unfortunately, Fresno's a little bit slower than, the Silicon Valley and, the bigger cities. But, we're trying to bring that here to Fresno. And once we get that off the ground, we have everything else. All of our documents has been filed. Our name has been reserved. We're actually going through the regulation and all that. And I myself has now taken my security license. So I'm going to be taking my Series 7 and Series 66 exam, as well as I have my insurance license and my tax license. So, it doesn't get any better than that. Unfortunately, if you miss that opportunity, that opportunity window is only going to be here for so long.
Well, I've enjoyed watching you grow and your company grow, and I'm excited that you're in the Tower District just right up the street here.
Yeah.
Last thing, we're out of time. Anything else you want our viewers to know?
No, just, if they're curious and they have questions, give us a call. There's no commitments to anything. We'll go ahead and give you that, advice. If you're looking for a brochure, then we give you a brochure. You kind of can just see, what it is. If, we go any further, then we will, go into other further details and discussions about that.
Very good. Marshawn Govan, MKGFinancialGroup.com. If you didn't get the information down, call me. I'll give you his direct phone number or something like that. We'll be back with more Central Valley Business right after this.